Hi everyone, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and in a recent video I was looking at using all, well, I guess 49 colors of the 50 Nifty kit from Americolor, and I used this on a blank and it looked like there was some globs of dye on top, so I just tossed a bare skein of Stroll finger and weight yarn on top to try to soak up some of that excess color. And well, you know, that worked, but there wasn't a lot of excess color. You can see some hints of some hues, but ultimately the color was mostly in that blank. So I now have some leftover yarn to dye. So let's leave no yarn behind here. And we are going to space dye today and do some color layering using these Americolor food colorings and this 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon yarn. Now, I have not pre-soaked the yarn. I just added this to the pan right now. And yeah, let's get started. We do already have some acid in here. I used an old dye bath that started off as 8 cups of water with 2 tablespoons of vinegar and then added in the colors. And actually, while I'm at it, I do have some leftover blue. I have no idea if this is going to go through. The figure, why not? If I have some leftover dye, why not take care of it right now before I start layering in some other drops. And you can see just how quickly things are heating up. I really like that we're starting out with so many flecks of pink around the yarn. Let's do, I'm sort of playing with some yellow. So let's use the color gold and do 5 drops of the color gold, which has, let's see, it's got yellow number 5, yellow number 6, and red 40. I like that there's already some pink moments going on in here, and I'm feeling like I actually might want to increase the water volume so that way I can let these colors spread out a bit more. This gold, I think, is actually pretty true to the name. The dot on the top looks almost more like a butter yellow, but this very much is a marigold kind of color, but it's reading a bit orange. I'm going to go ahead and add an additional 2 cups of water. We're still going to be fairly low immersion, but we'll have like a little more sort of wiggle room in here. One other thing, I'm not sure if I said, even though I'm using food coloring, I am using my dedicated dye equipment, so everything I am using is, you know, dedicated dye stuff. Okay. I want sort of a brighter yellow too, so I'm going in now with some electric yellow. And whoa, that does feel electric. That feels bright. And I'm going to look at what was in there. That is just yellow number 5 that is in that one. And woohoo, that is a great punch of yellow. I'm curious what will happen when we eventually need to flip this yarn. So I guess I should be keeping some mental track of the colors that I'm using, but I love that there were these like tiny hints of pink and stuff throughout this sort of already. What's this color? So lemon yellow is also yellow number 5. Alright, I'm sort of feeling this moment. What about some, let's go ahead and use some ivory, which is very thick. Whoops. Let's maybe do a little more right there. Yeah, this one is much more brown and is reasonably pigmented for a color called Ivory. But, you know, I don't think it's as pigmented as the yellows were, but it's sort of bringing in, oh, I think we're a little overexposed. There we go, so you could get a little more sense of the colors that we have going on. But there's actually still a lot of color left. I'm gonna add another drop of this electric yellow. I feel like I need like an eyedropper where I can use just, where I can dilute some of these more, because maybe is there like a pale blue? There's Wedgwood, which has titanium dioxide in it. Maybe, let's see what we get on the other side. I mean, we've got a brighter pink right here. I sort of wish, oh, I have an idea. Okay, I'm gonna take the electric pink, and I'm gonna put a dot of it, well, if I can get some drops going. I'm gonna put a dot of electric pink on the back of a glove, and put the tip on the spoon, and then use that to sort of add some flecks as I reduce the heat of color. But this is a lot less than if I had been sort of dropping. That would have been a lot more pigmented. But this is a way to give sort of like a little splash of that pink tone in here, and actually that is working pretty well. I'm not sure how I feel about that entirely, but we had this pink moment over here already, so you know, I kind of wanted to pull that through a bit. I suppose I could do something similar with blue, but I think that that blue might go all the way through, so I don't know. I'm gonna wipe the back of my hand and look at that staining on my glove. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this. I don't think everything has absorbed already, and I'm not super worried about that at all. And actually, oh cool. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where I was going with this colorway, what I should think of it, but I think it's cool. I think I want to add some more of this electric yellow. Sort of digging that color. Some places I feel need more color. I thought I was going to do a lot more like layering like on top of each other, but I mean I am layering these colors on top of each other, but this is sort of like different from what I had in my head, which is always fun. It's fun to see sort of how the colors interact with one another and then use that to sort of carry on with the colorway. And it's fun to also do something that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I want to take, so I did electric pink before, but let's take fuchsia and put some on the back of my hand. Now fuchsia has red 3, it has some yellow 6, and it has some blue 1. So it is going to be a different hue than that electric pink. But I sort of just want to do the same kind of thing and have some bits of it throughout. So it's not quite like speckling, but oh, that may have been a little, ooh, can I dot it? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Maybe not. It's starting to run down my hand. All right, that gives like a few other pops of these pinks that were on there. Hopefully will be slightly more balanced than it might have been otherwise, but I don't know, I think that this is kind of cool. I kind of, I don't know. It's hard when you feel a little bit at a loss. Maybe I want to take, okay, let's take the color copper. And let's try just one dot of copper and see what I think. Whoa, that is orange. That is way more orange than I would have expected. This is the thing with food colorings. You never entirely know until you go for it, you know? Oh, interesting. I guess let's do this. This is the thing with randomizing. You can always keep going, or you can decide that you want to stop. But by mixing it, okay, it gives a little pop of warmth. I sort of wish, because of this, like, it's so warm, and then there's this, like, hint of blue. I sort of wish that that moment weren't really there, but I don't know if I can, like, I think covering it up will just sort of be greenish. I don't think that the yellow is pigmented enough to, yeah, to fully take over that blue moment. But maybe that green works a little better. I don't know. Oh man. It's a thing, like, people have different preferences and people have different things that they feel like are beautiful and are ugly, and I am really digging going for these tones and these colors that are not my standards. You guys know I like purples and greens and blues, and some of you will be like, Rebecca, stop touching it. But I am trying to get these colors to spread, and yeah, I'm glad that I have a few more hints of red. There are white there. What was one of those other colors that I did? Gold. Maybe we'll do a little more gold. And there. Whoop, and over there. Yeah, and even with like playing with these colors on their own, interesting. Yeah, you never quite know, and then of course you get like tangled on your spoon. You never quite know what you'll end up with, and yeah, sometimes you get something that looks like a little like, what was she thinking? But I'm sort of digging this. I'm sort of liking this warmth. It's actually sort of an abstract, very fall kind of colorway. And so I look forward to hearing what you think. And it's okay. I am not offended if you guys don't love one of my colorways. This is what, like, I layer and I experiment. And yeah, so oh my gosh, this clip is 12 minutes long right now. Hopefully I cut that down in editing. But I'm going to go ahead and add, take off these messy gloves, I'm going to add a big healthy splash of vinegar to help, that's a lot of vinegar, to help all these colors absorb. We are still on the heat. I'm going to let this go for 10 minutes and then we'll come back and check in. Alright, let's see how our yarn is doing. And, oh, that water is clear. We've got all the color in our, oh, arranged like that, it doesn't look as wild. It was looking a little wild to me, but this is very, very fall. Really, really pretty. I think I was hoping for something more like yellow and spring-like, but you know, maybe a little too much orange went in. That's fine. I'm gonna turn off the heat and let it cool completely in the pan, and then we'll wash the fiber. It is now time to wash our yarn, which thankfully did exhaust completely. But we will see if there is any color bleeding. First pass actually looks pretty good. I was a little concerned because sometimes, like with the Color Right, some of the yellow actually can be a little stubborn. But maybe not with the Americolor colors. In general, for liquid food coloring, I do prefer Wilton just because it's easier to get the colors kind of more consistently out of the droppers. I don't have to squeeze quite as hard, but oh yeah, all this color is in our yarn. So I'm now going to rinse this 1 or 2 more times, make sure all the soap is out, and then hang it up to dry.
Hi, I'm Lucas from ChemKnits, and this is one of Mommy's colorfulest yarns she ever made.
Oh yeah?
Yep,
What makes it one of my colorfulest yarns?
because of all those colors you mixed in. It's so awesome.
Which one's your favorite?
The whole thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
And what are your favorite colors right now?
every color except for black and white and gray and stuff and brown.
Were you like every other color?
Yep.
You know what? I actually don't hate this as much as I thought that I would at one point. I think that if I start looking at this yarn through a fall lens, then I love it. I was going for something summery. I wanted yellow with a pop of color, and I didn't quite hit that. And so I think that's why I started feeling a bit bummed. But we've got some beautiful rust gold, yellow, orange, with a little bit of red and green. And so this really does feel super autumn and fall-like, and is really pretty. This colorway, or this attempt, was part of what inspired me to pick the I guess the pink lemonade picture that I used for the January ChemKnits Dialogue, because I really wanted to play with that yellow and get that pop of brightness. I think one other reason why I ran into some trouble is that when I was pulling from these Americolor food coloring colors, I was going by the hues on the cap, which are likely the colors that you get when you mix the food coloring with icing. So you're mixing it with a bunch of white. The concentrated colors are a lot more pigmented, and some of these yellows read more orange or brown, whereas diluted, the gold would feel a little less brown potentially when mixed with icing than it did on the yarn, and sort of left some of that brightness that I was originally going for. I am still very excited to play with this Americolor box of crayons and to play with these colors. I just need to remember to take the colors on the lid with a grain of salt. And I think that, like, when it comes to Wilton gel colors, the gel icing colors, again, things don't always look like the color on the cap, but since I've played with a lot of those individually a lot more, I had a better feel for sort of their potency and how they work together going out, that I don't quite have that feel yet for the Americolor set. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and if you enjoy my whole approach of leaving no dye behind and willingness to just go for it and play with colors, well, first of all, make sure you're subscribed to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. But you should also check out the Leave No Dye Behind playlist, where you can see a lot of videos of me taking some of the things that I have mixed or left over and pooled and throwing them at some yarn to see what kind of unique, one-of-a-kind masterpieces we can create. If you're a longtime ChemKnits fan, or you just discovered me and you would like to support the channel on another level, you should check out the ChemKnits Patreon. It's a platform that connects fans with the content creators they enjoy, And in exchange, there's some really cool perks, like early access to a new yarn dyeing video every month, behind the scenes sneak peeks, an exclusive newsletter, and more. You can find a link in the video description and the iCard, and you should check it out. What colors from the Americolor 50 Nifty food coloring set do you most want to see me play with? Well, please leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about this project. And I look forward to what beautiful colors we will create next. Thank you so much for watching.